Hey, Richie Smith here from LensWizard.com, and we're talking about watermarks. This is video part 2 where we're actually going to create a graphic that we can use as a watermark over in Lightroom. Remember now, Lightroom doesn't have the graphics and it doesn't have anything like that in there. You're just going to make something and then you're going to point Lightroom to it and it will use it. So let's get started. Let's open up a new file in Photoshop and we're going to call it Lightroom. We're going to go with 1500 deep on the pixels. Go 800 on the height of the pixels. And I'm going to keep my resolution kind of high actually at 300. So transparent, and we want small color group is fine. Okay, so first thing I want to do is make a duplicate, and I'm going to do Control J. I just want to have that as an option in case I need an extra layer. I'm going to turn it off actually. Okay, I'm going to go back and select my bottom layer. If my colors are not already there to black and white, I will hit the keyboard shortcut of the letter D, and that will give me foreground black, background white. With this bottom layer selected and black, I'm going to hit keyboard Alt backspace on a PC, and that is going to give me a fill of black. Now this black is just a reference. This is not going to be part of the watermark, but we're going to use our watermark can be whatever color you want it to be, but for my example I'm going to use white text, and I need to be able to see it, because if I didn't have something black to look at the white, I would have to look at it on the checkerboard, and that wouldn't be much fun. So now going back up to the top, if you don't know, you can hit your keyboard shortcut of T for your text tool, and I'm treating this as if you're a beginner and you don't really know. So I'm going to left click and hold and move my text cursor down, and I want to make it, make a dialog box here that or a text box, I'm sorry, that kind of fills stuff up. Now I want to make sure that my color is set to white in this case, and 75 point, that should be good. Let's start typing, and you can put in whatever you want to put in. I'm going to put in Lens Wizard because that is my branding. I'm going to make that a little smaller, and now I am going to accept that, and then I'm going to hit the letter V on my keyboard, which brings up my move tool, and I'm going to just move this, and I'm going to position it right about there. And just for more fun, I'm going to go and hit the letter U, which will bring up my custom shape tool, which is right there, and I get these little crosshairs. And if you go up here to the shape, well, you see that the copyright symbol is already highlighted because I've been making these watermarks up. You might have to scroll down the first time to actually find it, but before we do that, let's go over here and change our color to white. Okay, and then we have this highlighted as a C, and we can put it anywhere. I'm just going to put it there. We can accept the default of 100 pixels. Before I even touch it, I'm going to hit the letter V just to bring up my move tool, and then I'm going to grab it with my, I'm left clicking and holding down, and I'm just going to put it right there. And that's it. We're done for the most part. Now what we want to do is we want to turn off the black, and we just want this all to be transparent but that white. And we're going to go up here and hit Save As, and I'm going to save it as a PNG. Now you can save it as a JPEG if you would like, but I like to save them as PNGs. They work great for the transparency part. Hit save, a little dialog is going to come up and you can hit OK on that. Now I don't need to save this, but I'm just going to leave it here. If you feel that you're going to come back and edit, maybe you want to edit, you want to change something, you can go ahead and save the actual Photoshop file. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come over here into Lightroom, and now that I'm over here in Lightroom, here we have the finished image of our model Kendall, and it's kind of a mock-up of a movie poster, and it's ready to go. It's ready to be exported. So we're going to bring up our dialog box of Control-Shift-E in Lightroom, and that brings up our export dialog. And if you might have to scroll down. For me, I have to scroll down, and right now we're at simple watermark, so we're going to click on this, and all these come up because these are ones that I have saved. But if you don't have any saved, you're only going to see something like this simple watermark right here. So click Edit Watermarks, and it comes up, and you see we have the text. Well, we want graphic. So the first thing we're going to do is, I don't know why it did that, but first thing we're going to do, well, it automatically brings it up, I guess. So we are going to go to, and there's our watermark right there. And it brings the watermark in. It's putting it over there. So I'm going to go over here, select that. Proportion, it's putting it at 10. Bring it up a little bit. I can use my horizontal, and my vertical will bring it down. If I want, I can lower the opacity, and I can click Save. And now I got to give it some kind of a name. So I'll call it Lens Wizard, and we'll put a C to denote that we have our copyright. We click OK, and it's a glitch right now in Adobe Lightroom. This started a couple of weeks ago. Right now it's February 2016. And a few weeks ago it started this thing where when I come back it won't be here. I'm sure Adobe will address this issue and get it fixed, but we'll just go up here and we'll find it, and now we have it. So the rest of your settings can be whatever you want them to be, your pixel sizes and your resolution, all that kind of stuff. But when you're ready, you click Export, and I'm going to go ahead and hit Overwrite because I already had exported this image once before. So when it comes up, we open our image, and there we have it. So I hope this helps everybody out. Because I get asked about this so many times. Nobody really comments and says, "Hey, cool watermark." They just say, "How did you do it?" That's all they want to know. How did you get that cool watermark? It's what is the technique? And again, if you have apps on a phone, mobile devices, they have apps that will put watermarks in, but we're working in Adobe Lightroom. And if you can do it to a whole batch, if you export 50 images at one time and you select that setting, it'll put it in every time. You can also just uncheck the box over in Adobe Lightroom, and it will not export it. If you want to actually send a file out for print and you don't want a watermark in it. Okay, everybody, thank you and have a great day.